pride of the land, the founding father.
My name is Andrew Adaze Ewanta, a Justice of the Peace and the Honorable Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Edo State. I bring you warm greetings from the government of Edo State under the able leadership of His Excellency Godwin Norhera Se Obaseki. My great Edo people, you made the memorable choice of re-electing Governor Godwin Obaseki for a second term in office of 4 years. That election is believed to be the freest and fairest in modern Nigerian history. After taking his oath of office, the governor reassured the people of Edo State of his pledge in fulfilling political manifesto with Edo people, christened MEGA, which is the acronym for Making Edo Great Again. As we celebrate our first year of fulfilling the MEGA manifesto, I humbly invite all Edo people to join me in counting the gains of the choice we all made last year. Let's begin with an appraisal of the 6 thematic pillars of the MEGA manifesto, namely economic revolution, infrastructural development, institutional reforms, social welfare enhancement, environmental sustainability, culture and tourism. Our dear Governor, conscious of the importance of the public and civil service as the engine of the machinery of government, decided to institute holistic reforms in both the public and civil service sometime in 2019. Our gains under institutional reforms include the complete transformation of our civil service and public service buildings, including buildings of our state judiciary. These buildings have the state-of-the-art equipment, internet fiber optic connectivity, and there's now the Edo State Infrastructure Agency responsible for the maintenance of these public buildings. Also, in the area of security, we now have the Edo Security Network to combat criminal activities in the state. We also have the total eradication of community development associations and all the affiliates, which of course was preceded by the signing into law by the governor of the Edo State Private Property Protection Amendment Bill 2021.
I'm Frank Ewo, I'm an architect. I manage the Edo State Geographic Information Service. The government of Governor Godwin Obaseki decided to set up Edo State Geographic Information Service because of the legacy of problems we've had with land administration, land management in Edo State. Edo State Geographic, let me just call it Edo GIS, that's the short form for Edo State Geographic Information Service. It's the successor agency to the now defunct Ministry of Lands and Survey. And before the advent of this government, it used to take anything from, 5 to 10 years thereabout to get your certificate of occupancy. But what then happened was, being the base, the foundation for businesses and for foreign and local investment to invest in the Edo economy, the government decided to handle wholesale the issue of land administration, land titling, property titling, and business permits, all encompassed into Edo State Geographic Information Service. So we started by doing an area survey of the state. For the first time in the history of Edo State, we had a complete geographic information about the landmass of the entire state. And with that, we're now able to begin to parcellate the state and to begin to match those parcels with the individual owners and issue them certificate of occupancy. What might interest you to note is that Edo State came out of Bender State came out of Midwest came out of Western region. In all that history, before the advent of this administration, we'd had a total of about 30,000 titles. But now, in just about 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years now of Edo GIS, we have done 10,000 titles, and with a target to do another 10,000 over the next year or so. We brought down the cost of acquiring land titles to about 15% of what it used to cost, and we're now able to deliver those titles in between 6 to 10 working weeks, which translates to about 3 months or thereabout. And the whole reason for this is investors' confidence. Nobody wants to invest money in a place where you come in, you buy your land, you start constructing, and all sorts of people start to come out of the woodwork to come and disturb you and ask for this payment or ask for that payment. And so, Edo State government decided that we're going to do this in a holistic way. First of all, Edo GIS is backed up by law, it's a creation of the law, so it has legal backing. And then, secondly, government decided, look, we're going to protect all investors. Whoever has bought their land and has the land registered with the state government, that person is now protected by the Edo State private property protection law. And the whole essence is to ensure that when you want to invest in Edo State, your first port of call actually should be Edo GIS. Do some research on the land, and when you then put money down on that land and register your land with government will stand by you until your investment starts to bear fruit. In a nutshell, that's the whole idea behind Edo GIS. We want to take the pain, we want to take the omonile, as they say in Lagos, or CDAs, as they say down here in Benin. We want to take them out of the equation completely. And so far, I think the story is very good. And more investors are checking into Edo State and putting down good investment in Edo State as a result of this land reformation. And I don't want to end that without mentioning some of these investors. We've issued CFOs to companies like Dangote in Edo North. We've issued CFOs to companies like Nusac. We've issued CFOs. We're part of the CBN ESOP project. That is the palm oil project. We've done well over 30,000 hectares of palm oil. We've also issued CFOs of those who are into sorghum, rice in Edo North. Quite a lot of investors are actually coming in. Even recently, we issued CFO to Royal China Company. They're setting up a food eatery along Sapler Road. We've issued CFOs to people like the Chinese companies who are doing all sort of work, including tile materials. The tiles in this office were made in Benin City. So these are all some of the direct benefits we're getting. We're involved in ensuring that Oshomo Power Plant got their papers in place, which they use to generate funds. And again, this office is running on Oshomo Power. So some of these investments are already bearing and yielding fruits. And it's all tied down to having a stable land administration, equitable land administration, transparent land administration, such that investors have full confidence when they come into Edo State to do business.
Also, we have a new management information system which heralds the birth of the Edo Communication Office. Equally, we now have a new government-owned printing press that can produce 30,000 copies of newspaper print in 1 hour. Speaking on the economic revolution pillar, I would like to begin with the gains recorded under the Edo Jobs Agency, an initiative that has created well over 150,000 job opportunities for our young Edo people. The Edo Jobs Initiative gave birth to the establishment of the Edo Innovative Hub, popularly referred to as the South-South Silicon Valley. Also, we have the Edo Tech Park and the Creative Hub, recently named after the great musical icon, Professor Sir Victor Owaifo. Also, we have the Edo Production Center to drive industrial development and create micro, small, and medium enterprises jobs for our teeming population. Equally, we have launched the Edo State Oil Palm Program, for which 69 billion naira was committed by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Already, large hectares of farmland have been allocated for commercial oil cultivation. In addition, 10,000 hectares of farmland across the three senatorial districts has been allocated for rice production on a large scale. We also have the remodeling and re-equipping of the Government Science and Technical College to provide the needed blue-collar manpower. Conscious of the fact that without power, the wheels of our economic revolution will not turn, our dear governor has, through a PPP agreement, delivered to Edo people the Osiomo power plant. The Osiomo power plant, which is due for commissioning, has made it possible for our public and civil service buildings, our production center, and street lights to enjoy round-the-clock electricity supply. Edo now leads in this new revolution for the economic benefits of all, being the heartbeat of the nation. On the infrastructural development pillar, so far we have completed 274 roads cutting across the three senatorial districts of Edo State. And of course, we have other interventions in the following sector: the agricultural sector, the education sector, the energy sector, housing, health, and the security sector. On housing, we have the Motown Garden, which has over 100 units of flats, 2 and 3 bedrooms that have been completed out of the total number of 1,440 units. We also have, in the area of water projects, the Ugboa Uromi Aochi water project. We have, in the area of roads, the construction of roads across the three senatorial districts, including the rehabilitation of the Secretariat Road at Igara. We have Testami Road, Umbo Abagba Road completed, Ekewan Road ongoing. Also completed is the Iriri, Arogba, Obazagbon, Obagenusa, Ogege Road, with spurs to the Enugis Palace and Ogbekmen community. This legacy road project has opened up the real estate sector in Edo. Also, we have the establishment of the Benin Enterprise Park, a project which is ongoing, construction of Judges Quarters, which is completed, construction of the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources at Igoraki, which is ongoing, soon to be commissioned, the construction of a modern commercial vehicles park, which is ongoing. Then we also have the new central car park at King's Square completed. Then we have the ultra-modern Edo State School of Nursing and Midwifery, which has been completed. And recently, the school gained provisional accreditation by the Nigerian Nursing and Midwifery Council. On the institutional reforms pillar, the Edo State Governor recently launched the Edo STEP, an acronym for the Edo State Civil Service Transformation and Enhancement Project. This transformation project, which was activated on November 1st, 2021, promises to give a new lease of life to ministries, departments, and agencies of government. On the social enhancement pillar, I dare say Edo State has the most motivated government-employed workforce. And this is because on the 26th of every month, all our civil servants get their monthly pay. Also, the Edo Basic Education Sector Transformation Program, popularly called Edo BEST, has transformed what education is at that level. We also have the implementation of modern teaching techniques backed by technology. Over 11,000 teachers have been trained so far across the state. Over 1 million textbooks have been distributed across the state. We also have the establishment of the Edo State Task Force on Human Trafficking to curb irregular migration and human trafficking. Also, the child rights law has been enforced in a manner to ensure compulsory attendance of school children who hitherto were used for hawking and other menial jobs. Also, we have launched the Edo State Health Insurance Scheme to guarantee quality and affordable health care. And with this, we've been able to achieve the rehabilitation of 20 primary health care centers recently, renovation and facility upgrade of the Samuel Ogbomodia Stadium, which made it possible for the state to win the hosting rights of the National Sports Festival that was held recently. One of the gains of the social enhancement pillar is the establishment of the Edo State Gender-Based Violence Management Committee, which was presided by the signing into law by the governor of the Edo State Violence Against Persons Bill. On the environmental sustainability pillar, much resources has gone into flood and erosion control. Completed is the Textile Mill Road erosion control project, and we have many other projects cutting across the three senatorial districts of the state. In my capacity as Commissioner for Communication and Orientation Edo State, our ministry is set to give Edo people a new orientation on how we manage our environment, because our environment is the closest we can ever get to God. The culture and tourism pillar, which by no means is the least, though the last, is at the very heart of the mega manifesto. Edo people have always been known for their rich cultural heritage, and this dates back to the time we had the Midwest region. The mission of the mega manifesto is to achieve economic prosperity for Edo State. And part of this prosperity will come from investors, particularly those that will invest in our tourism sector. Light over our dear state was the political dream of Professor Folorunso Ali, who was governor of the defunct Bende State and one of the founding fathers of the present Edo State. That dream is a reality under Governor Godwin Obaseki's Light Up Edo project. The following opinion of one of the residents of Benin City gives a summary of this way of achieving the Making Edo Great Again agenda.
Yeah, my name is Barrister Kenneth Ebikade. I'm a legal practitioner and I live around the GRA. Well, we are grateful to the state government towards this street light project. You know, before now, it has been a terrible situation around this ring road houses. You know, but this street light project has actually brought nightlife back to Ring Road, and it has put an end to the issue of insecurity. You can see business is still ongoing. People are still moving around the Ring Road. Before now, you can't come out and move around Ring Road like this. You know, if you are moving, you make sure that your hands is inside your pocket, protecting your phone, and you'll be so security conscious. But now everybody is moving freely. Vehicles are going on freely. There's no security challenges, and everywhere is being brightened by virtue of this light project. Coming from GRA, you'll be so impressed with what the government is doing in GRA. And down to Ring Road, everywhere is like as if it's afternoon. And we are grateful. We want to thank the government and we want to encourage the government to continue on this process. Thank you.
We must all work in partnership with government in making Edo great again. And that can only be possible if we have investment, particularly in our tourism sector. And that is why we must encourage government, now that we have ShopRite in Benin City, for us to have more businesses that will attract the kind of investment that will make our city a modern city and not an ancient one.
Our history forever shall be written, how our kings have endured all times. A people cultured in unity, our hearts beat for the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Unite and stand with each other. Forgive and let it go. Together we can stand, come what may. Edo future lies in us. Teach our children to teach their children what our fathers